Hey everybody, it's Eugene Driscoll of valleyindy.org. Welcome to Navel Gazing, the Valley Indy podcast. Today we're going to be talking about nonprofit related items. We're going to talk to Valerie Knight-DiGangi of the Valley Community Foundation. If you notice, this podcast says the word Valley a lot. Valerie's coming on from the Valley Community Foundation to talk about the grant process that's currently underway. VCF funds a whole bunch of nonprofits in the Valley, in part. And the process to apply for grants is currently very much underway. Then we talked to Joy DeMarchis. She's of BHcare from Ansonia. And she's going to talk about a bowl-a-thon coming up to benefit a service, a program of BHcare that helps people in domestic violence situations. So two really worthy causes, and we are happy to bring you those interviews. But first, is your group looking to raise money? Do you have an event coming up that you want to publicize in order to let people know how they can help you? Please consider advertising with valleyindy.org. Drop me a line, eugenedriscoll@gmail.com for more information. But the long and the short of it is, for $99 a week, you can get an ad on valleyindy.org. It also displays on newhavenindependent.org. And we will publicize your event on our Facebook and Twitter accounts. We have 13,000 followers on Facebook alone. Now, you could spend that money directly to Facebook, but spend it with us and we can get you a ready-built audience, people who are already following the news, committed, concerned citizens who want to see your stuff. Email eugenedriscoll@gmail or valleyindependentsentinel@gmail, or go to valleyindy.org, look under contact, or go to facebook.com. Send us a message, Twitter, tweet at us, whatever, YouTube. Anyway, on with the show. So my guest on the phone with us is Valerie Knight-DiGangi, the program officer for the Valley Community Foundation in Derby. And so, Valerie, how are you doing today?
I'm well, thank you, Eugene. Thanks so much for having me join you today.
Oh, my pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you on. It's always nice to talk about the good efforts of the Valley Community Foundation and all they do in the lower Naugatuck Valley. So you're sort of in the heat of it right now. What did you want to talk about?
Oh, I just wanted to let everybody know that we have a few grant deadlines that are looming. The first one is for our community grants, which is March 3rd, Friday, and they are due at 5 o'clock. The next one is for our responsive grants, which is March 30th, also at 5. The link for the responsive grant will close at 5 o'clock, so you need to kind of get them in before 5 o'clock, so in case there aren't, you don't have any issues, that you'll be able to get your grants submitted in on time.
And for anyone not familiar, these are programs, the VCF gives grants to a whole bunch of nonprofits in the Valley, including the Valley Indy in the past, ranging from us to Center Stage to just about, I mean, if there's a group in the Valley that's nonprofit, chances are they went through this process to try to get grant money from the VCF. What's the difference between the two grants you just mentioned, the two types of grants?
The community grants are really for neighborhood grassroots efforts, and they are focusing on much smaller pots of money available, $250 to $2,500. They are for beautification efforts, for neighborhood watch projects, that kind of thing. We strongly encourage groups that have two or less full-time employees in their organization to come to us for those kinds of grants. The responsive grant process is our competitive process that we share with our partner in philanthropy, which is the Community Foundation for Greater New Haven. That is a much larger process that goes from March when the grants come in the door until October, when the grants are finally decided on. The pots of money are larger. Most grants that come in are and granted are somewhere in the $15,000 to $20,000 range. Some less, some more, but it is a very competitive process, and we are really looking forward to seeing some quality applications coming in the door this year.
And in terms of the first groups of grants, those smaller ones that are things for like neighborhood watch groups or any kind of community groups, what are some examples of things that the VCF has funded in the past? What's some of the good work you've done through that type of grant?
So we've done some community gardens in the Valley. Last year, we funded some work for a farmer's market in Shelton. We really are looking to do things that are going to help to improve the quality of life in the Valley with folks that are in need of some support, but are really doing a lot of volunteer work, and getting a lot of in-kind kinds of things, and that this infusion of money will help really boost their project work.
And what if I'm a small group like that, and I'm not completely familiar with the process, and the deadline being this close? What should I do? Is there a way to find out info? I know you've had a ton of workshops and things to educate people and groups about how to try to access this money. If I haven't done any of that, is it too late for this process? Should I at least get involved and learn the process and then apply again next time? What's your advice for groups like that?
Folks that have not yet applied, certainly feel free to give me a call. I would be more than happy to walk them through the process. All of our grant processes are online, and there is information about them online. But if there's a question or anything about eligibility, or could this project work and could it be considered in this project, absolutely call me. That's what I'm here for. I'm the resources. As you remember last year, I'm the grant gal from the Valley, and I am really here, Eugene, to be able to provide that information to folks that have not necessarily been through our processes before. And for those who have already been through, I welcome their input as well. We tell everybody that if you have gone through our process and perhaps not been so successful, that no is not no forever. That is from our colleague Sarah Fabish in New Haven, and she has really helped us help others understand that just because you may not have been successful in the past does not mean that the door is closed. We really try to provide support in order for people to be successful.
And then for the other, I believe the second group is the responsive grant that's due March, responsive grant applications.
30th. Yeah.
Okay.
That's correct.
I'm sorry, say the date again, because I stepped on you, Val. Say that date again. When is it due?
It's on March 30th at 5 o'clock.
Okay. Is there anything new in that process for the groups that are trying for that money?
So what I can say is that one of the new data sources that we have available is the Valley Community Index, which you all have done a wonderful job of promoting at the Indy, and we have it on the front page of our website. It has a great amount of information about the needs and opportunities that exist here in the Valley, and I strongly encourage people that are participating in the responsive grant process to look at the index, to find the section that may be applicable to them. There are different sections, community life and health and so on, that might be applicable for a particular organization. And as I said, there is so much data available that we would hope that people would be using it to point to the need or opportunity for a grant applicant here in the Valley.
And for the laymen who are not in the nonprofit world and have no idea what we're talking about, basically this money, if you have a group and you have something you want supported, if you have a program that's benefiting the community in some way, you sort of go through this application process to convince the VCF as a foundation to support you. And to do that, it's a thorough review process, and you have to. The great thing about this new document that Valerie just mentioned is that there's all the data, and you can go in there and look at the data and see if your mission and what you're doing in the community matches up with what's in there. If there's something in there that you can support, so it's a way to help, because the grant process itself, as someone who's done it and filled out those applications, it can be difficult. It can be a bit overwhelming, but there's more and more. It gets easier, I guess, thanks to data like that. And that's one of the things I wanted to ask about, because you mentioned that report. I mean, you're coming off a big year. The past year has been really busy for the VCF in terms of things that you've accomplished, and I mean, namely that community index. So how are things? What are you doing this year? How are you going to top the last 365 days at the VCF?
It's been so exciting for us, Eugene, and we're so thrilled that we understand that community conversations are in the works about the index. And that's exactly what we wanted to have happen, that there is planning for more in-depth looks at the data that is in the index, deeper dives, as it were, into the index. In addition, there are a number of different programs that are being developed, and that people are coming together and doing collaboration, learning more about how to work together to solve particular issues here in the Valley. So we're delighted to have sparked that momentum in the work that we have done with everyone who collaborated with us on the index. It was just a wonderful collaboration of nonprofits here in the Valley that came together to put that material together with the work of Data Haven. And speaking of Data Haven, they are going to be having a workshop on March 7th at the Greek Olive in New Haven. It is co-sponsored with the Valley Community Foundation and the Community Foundation for Greater New Haven, and it is a wonderful opportunity for people to get additional data about their particular project area. So if people are interested, that information about the workshop is up on the website, and I would encourage people to attend that.
And Valerie, do you know, or can you give us an estimate as to how much money and grants you expect to give out in this next cycle, and how many applications do you get?
You know, it ranges in a different way every single year, Eugene. And I will tell you that already through our Needs and Opportunities grant process, which we have not talked about, that is our ongoing $10,000 and under grant process for people that it does not have a deadline. We've already had a number of them come in the door and have been reviewed by our program committee of the Valley Community Foundation, who is responsible for that work. It's been exciting. I can tell you that for the Needs and Opportunities grant process, there is $110,000 available. We've already given out some of that money. We have also available for community grants $40,000 in that pool of money, and responsive is several $100,000, and it really is, however, a very competitive process. And we're expecting a lot more applications coming in the door this year as a result of the index work that we did last year.
Yeah, and explain that to me. Why do you think the index is going to trigger more applications?
I'm hopeful that people will look at it and think about work that they're doing or work that could be done, and then be able to say to themselves, boy, if I had X amount of money to be able to do this project, there would be a really wonderful impact on the quality of life here in the Valley. So it's not what I think personally, it's what the board is thinking, it's what we at the foundation staff are hopeful that it will spark that interest and say, yes, this is something that we might be able to have impact and be able to move the needle, as it were, on the condition and the quality of life here in the Valley.
Okay, and I wanted to move on and ask you about the Great Give coming up. Unless there's anything else you wanted to add about the grant application process that I haven't asked you.
Just one more quick thing that I
Sure.
wanted people to know. If they've missed our Grant Seekers workshop, it has been recorded and it is up on the website, so please go to that. Some helpful hints about some reminders that you need to know. When you're filling out the application, please always hit save because you don't want to lose the information that you have already done. I used to sit on the other side of this table, so I know how much that it can interrupt the entire flow of the work that you're doing. So please make sure that you save your documents. And last but not least, please make sure that you are, as I said, not waiting until the last minute, that you are coming to us with questions, and we are always available for help.
Okay, and then looking forward, another Great Give is coming up, I assume. How's the planning going for that? That's an exciting thing that happens in Greater New Haven
We
and
are
the
in
Valley.
We are, and we are in full swing for that. As I'm sure you know, the Great Give is going to be from May 2nd to May 3rd this year, Tuesday to Wednesday. We are hopeful that the technology, everything is squared away, and that we will get, again, a very positive response from folks who live and work here in the Valley to support the nonprofits and the causes that they care about by contributing during the Great Give. There'll be lots of exciting things happen. Please keep your eyes posted on the website, and we will have more information available as time goes on.
Okay, so lastly, let's give out your contact information. What is the website and your phone number and email, anything you want to share with the public?
So the website is www.valleyfoundation.org. You can call me at 203-751-9162. And my email is vDiGangi, VDIGANGI @valleyfoundation.org.
Okay, Valerie, thank you so much for taking a couple of minutes today to talk to me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Eugene, and I look forward to hearing from the folks that are going to be submitting all of the grants. I wish all of you great success, and thanks so much again for having me.
Okay, hey, it's Eugene again. That was Valerie Knight-DiGangi, and now we're going to have on Joy DeMarchis. This is a conversation we recorded the other day. She is from BHcare. That is BHcare.org if you want to find out more info. She's going to talk to you about the 29th Annual Bowl to Benefit coming up Saturday, March 11th, 2017, AMF Lanes in Milford. Again, if you want more info, go to BHcare.org, and here is Joy. I'm on the phone. This is Eugene of valleyindy.org, and I'm on the phone with Joy DeMarchis, the director. Is it Director of Development? I don't want to get your title wrong.
It's Director of Development, you're correct.
Director of Development at BHcare, right around the corner on East Main Street in Ansonia. The Valley Indy is located on Main Street in Ansonia. But today, because my alternator went on my car, I'm working out of my garage in our Derby Bureau. So, Joy, thank you very much for being on.
Thank you very much for having me.
So,
hopefully your car will be better.
Yeah, right. It's at the car doctor. Yeah, I know it's going to cost me at least $500. But so that's a terrible segue into what we're going to be talking about. BHcare is hosting its annual fundraiser next month. It's one of the coolest fundraisers in the Valley because you can do something that's really fun for an incredibly worthy cause. So why don't you talk to us about what you have planned for next month?
Sure. So on March 11th, which is a Saturday, we're going to be going to AMF Lanes in Milford. And this is an absolutely wonderful event called Bold to Benefit. And it supports victims of domestic violence in our umbrella shelter. BHcare, many people know about BHcare. We provide services in 19 cities and towns, and that includes the Lower Naugatuck Valley, Greater New Haven communities, as well as the shoreline. And so we're excited to host this event because it's just going to be a fun day to bowl a strike against domestic violence.
And do you know how many years this event has taken place?
Okay, so I'm new. I just started.
Gotcha.
Literally.
Welcome.
So this is our, thank you. Welcome back, right? I'm originally from the Valley.
Okay.
So this is the 29th year that the Bold to Benefit has taken place, and it's just a wonderful event that everybody can get behind. I've actually participated in the past as organizing a team.
Yeah,
so it's nice to be on the other end organizing it.
When this podcast airs, I'm pairing it with, I also interviewed Valerie Knight-DiGangi of the Valley Community Foundation, because I know, nonprofits in the Valley do so much for so many people. They really affect everybody's lives. Either you or you know someone who is helped by groups like BHcare. I mean, you guys are into everything, and the VCF, because they fund or help to fund a lot of nonprofits, are also involved in everything. But it's never enough. You're always trying to keep the lights on and keep funding going. And so something like this is hugely important. What is the bowl-a-thon? I mean, obviously by definition, I imagine there's going to be some bowling involved in this. How does it work?
So anybody can come in and sign up for a team on www.bhcare.org, or they can actually contact me. My phone number is 203-736-2601, extension 1856. They can call and sign up. Literally, a team is $5, and then we request that there's each team of 4 to 5 members participate by raising $50 each, and that all these monies benefit, as we said, the umbrella in BHcare services, and we provide 16,775 individuals and families with services each year. But for this specific cause, we provide 6,356 women and children support in our domestic violence program, and it's important to know that these programs are not funded, by the federal government or like state. I mean, we obviously receive support, but this is why we need to raise these monies.
And as we know, it's getting harder and harder and harder, even for programs that do receive state assistance or federal funding of some kind. Those dollars are becoming tighter and tighter and tougher to get. So all I have to do is get 3 or 4 of my buddies. We pay $5 to bowl, and we each have to raise $50 beforehand for a very worthy cause. Now, what do I get when I win, though? When I win this bowl-a-thon? What do I get, like a bucket of candy or something?
We have prizes. We have, we've gotten a lot of local businesses to support us, and so the goal, what you really get out of it, is to know at the end of the day that you've had a fun day and you've made a difference in somebody's life. You've actually saved lives. So that's the most positive thing. We have awards and programs throughout the day, where people can just participate.
Yeah, and like, what's the start time and end time? Is it an all-day thing, or how?
Sure. It is. So it's all day. It starts at 9 a.m. That's the first session. 11:30 a.m. is the second session, and it's wonderful because several legislators are putting together a team, which is fun. Rosa DeLauro will be there. State Representative Pam Sineski, she's a Republican out of Milford, is actually organizing a team of legislators. GOP leader Themis will be there, Themis Claridis, State Senator Ted Kennedy, State Rep Nicole Claridis Ditria, and State Rep James Albus.
Wow, okay, so that's great. So everyone's going to be there.
11:30. And then 4:30 p.m. is actually sold out, which is wonderful. And 7 p.m. is available now as well.
Oh, wow, that's great. So if I sign up, can you request a specific time to bowl, or?
Sure. At this point in time, like I said, 4:30 is sold out. We're looking at a 9 a.m. availability. 11:30 is the legislative session. Legislators are visiting, but there's availability at that time as well. 4:30 p.m. is sold out, and 7 p.m. is available.
Okay, that
so
sounds.
So there's actually 5 times to participate.
And is there any sponsorship if I run a business and I listen to this podcast and I can't make it to the actual bowl-a-thon? Are there any sponsorship available opportunities available at this point?
There are. You can. There are primary T-shirt sponsors. We still haven't run those off yet, quite, Eugene. So we're still there. Secondary T-shirt sponsors, banner sponsors. We have availability for people to participate. It's a lane sponsor for $100, all the way to $2,500 as a presenting sponsor. But we're really thankful to the Bassett Family Fund because they're our marquee sponsor and our media partners, which is Channel 3, WFSB, 99.1 PLR, and Star 99.9.
Oh, does that mean there might...
this out.
I'm sorry, I stepped on you. Say that last part again about Star 99.
No, sure. So there's Star 99.9 is a media partner, as well as 99.1 PLR, and and obviously Channel 3, who's done wonderful work for us, WFSB, as our media partners.
So does that mean there's a chance Chaz and AJ will be bowling some gutter balls during this?
Perhaps. You have to come to find out.
You're a great saleswoman. All right, that sounds.
I try.
That sounds. We've sent photographers in the past, and I think we covered the event once or twice in the past at valleyindy.org. It's really a great event, and there is no more cause more worthy. And thank you so much for the good work you and the organization have been doing long before the Valley Indy was on the scene in the Naugatuck Valley. The BHcare is a point of pride, I know, for many in the Naugatuck Valley. So to conclude, Joy, just give that website again to let people know how they can find out more info. www.bhcare.org. Perfect.
And we hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.
That is nice and simple. Well, Joy, I want to thank you very much for coming on, and good luck with the event.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Hopefully everybody can come out and join us.